Let's play a beat while I talk. So over the years, I noticed that we often lose a transfer of skills and knowledge in Cape Town in hip-hop music. What's happened over the years, lots of groups and artists come up over the different eras, and there's usually a producer in that group or attached to a clique, and by trial and error and experience over time, the producer, the groups get knowledge and skill, the hard-earned skill by actually doing things and learning to work with each other, and that kind of knowledge is hard-earned and the most valuable. What happens is that after a while, a couple of years of these guys building up their skill, trying to accumulate equipment and make their way in the business and the industry and get their game going, they inevitably get choked out by life and have to get a real job. And then that experience was not transferred. And that's a shame, because that experience is related to who we are, where we are, what we come from. What I've noticed in recent years is that a lot of young guys coming up now have access to all the information they want. Information is not always knowledge. Knowledge is knowing how to apply the information, and people seem to be resistant to learning things the hard way and taking time to learn the skill, because technology and access to information has given a lot of younger people, younger guys, the sense that they know what they're doing, because the technology helps you get to where you want to be, or get what you want quick and easy, resulting in what we have today, is where a lot of people sound the same and feel the same. I've also noticed for a lot of newer people, there's a real resistance to learning from others because they think that they know everything. It's kind of foreign to me. I mean, the eagerness to learn from other people is not there with everybody. When I coming up, I learned a lot from people outside of hip-hop. I learned from working with jazz people, engineers, rock guys. I would always get information that I would never have gotten if not just being in contact and just being in the vicinity and talking about things. People are very resistant to people giving opinions and transfer knowledge. I notice a lot of guys, a lot of jazz guys, when they'd hear a mix that I did, they'd always say, the snare is too loud, the snare is too loud. And I'd wonder, why are they consistently, the jazz guys, saying the snare is too loud? To me, the snare is not loud enough. Now, not that they were right that the snare is too loud, but you learn that people have different, they see and hear and feel things different. So when you're working towards interpreting something, a song, and something like a snare can change people's impression of the song, that's all valuable knowledge that you get just from dealing with different people and getting knowledge and getting feedback from them. Over the years, there's a handful of guys who stuck it in there, you know, was at the craft and dedicate themselves to it. And I can tell you, it's at great cost to those of us who are dedicating to the craft of hip hop. It's often not financially rewarding, by evidence of people having to come and leave the scene. The guys like Cynic Beats and Hype and quite a few others that, you know, you have to sacrifice to do this. It's a great personal cost. People don't know as much as they think they do, and that's not their fault. It's just the nature of how things are now. Very recently, I spoke to someone who said they're getting into the game, they're going to take over a whole bunch of stuff, they're going to do great things, and they just went online for 3 months and they taught themselves to record, mix and master. And now that they know how to record, mix and master, they can start a label and kick a whole industry. Now there's something also cool about that you can do that. But as someone who's been at the craft for 30 years, I highly doubt that anybody can learn to record, mix and master in 3 months. I'm not saying you can't do decent work in 3 months, but you wouldn't know as much as you think you know. You learn from working with experience in the conditions of your group of talent that you work with the socioeconomic conditions of where you live, your community, your culture. All those things becomes part of what you absorb and apply to the work. So yes, transfer of skills. I've always had a concern that the culture doesn't grow stronger because, as I said, the guys who get the skills are forced to move away and not transfer them. So even from the beginning, guys like Marley from Black Noise or Warro Brooks from Black Noise, and all these guys in the different groups, they come up through the different eras. They come and they go, and it's a shame that the industry is a bottleneck when you come to a certain level, and those who worked at it, they get choked out. And we need to find a way that the guys who work at it and get to a skill level, that they get to take it to a higher level and not get choked out by life.